evening, friends. Oh, I think we can do better than that. It's Easter Thursday. They've come all the way from St. Ives. Good evening, friends. Oh, now that's better, like that. Good evening and welcome to this Maunday Thursday evening of spiritual upliftment, love, laughter and friendship. It is a pleasure to see you all here. Those that I've seen more recently and in the last several hours frequently, and those that I've seen within, the last week, or those that I haven't seen in a while, and those that I've only just met, you're welcome too. It's a pleasure to see everyone here gathering together to witness that proof and that truth that life is indeed eternal, because that is what tonight is all about. Along with friendship, kindness, compassion, and let's be honest, snacks and drinks, because we've got loads of them. So thank you to Caroline for the sandwiches. Thank you to Yvonne for the cake. And thank you to Reverend Sharon Sinclair for the chocolate. We love you. Of course, there is chocolate at the front that people could grab on the way in, that was donated by Sharon, who had her ordination here a while back now, bless her heart. But it is, of course, Easter, and Easter is a time, among other things, for chocolate, apparently. That was what my retail training told me. But I'm sure tonight we'll be discussing a few other things that matter at this time of year. But what matters right now, in this very moment, is giving an uplifting, raucous and loving welcome to our mediums for this evening. The wonderful Gina Zivtins and the gorgeous Nicola Warrington. Did I get the names right for once? Blooming heck, I got the names right for once. And what makes it even better is that there's no workshops or courses here this week, so I'm going to get the times right and all. There ain't none. But no, welcome everyone. And I'm sure those that have never seen me before, you ain't got to worry because I don't go on all night. It's fine. My bit's short. Thank you. But I find that no matter what, laughter, compassion, kindness and upliftment is far greater a medicine than anything in the world. So if we've got a reason to laugh, we make sure we laugh the loudest. If we haven't got a reason to laugh, we go out and find one and make each other laugh, because that is so important. But I digress, because we should really have an opening prayer first. And for those that have never seen the opening prayers in Littleport before, you're about to. Friends, those that are able to join in, feel free to gather as we gather and say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to watch over all of each other as kind friends, a family under Spirit, that we gather in this place in love, in compassion and humility. At this time, Great Spirit, we ask that a blessing be placed on our mediums, that their guides and helpers may come forward and assist them in the work that is to be done. And I ask for a blessing to be placed on each person here present, that their lives might be filled with upliftment, joy and compassion. And so we place this service in your care and keeping and make the statement as ever. Everything we do is in love, truth and light. Amen. Well, friends, we do have a couple of notices. I'm going to do the notices now while I've got the numbers in my head, because there is an online workshop if anybody would like to join, and it is between 11 and 3 on Sunday, and it's on Zoom. If you'd like any details for that, it's available on Facebook. It's called Guides 101, and it's all about development of your own mediumship and spiritual potential. So if you're available, free between 11 and 3 and want to do a bit of uplifting, laughter and learning, and haven't got anything planned for Easter, then feel free to join in and have a good old laugh, and hopefully we'll learn something together too. But that is, if you come and see me, I've got all the details here to share, should anybody want to know more. And to let you know that our medium next week is Greg Pettit, which will be exciting because he was in one of the first circles we ever had in this church. So we go way back, and Greg's been off doing his own journey. So it's a wonderful thing to have him come back and serve as medium. And so to the addressing. There are many different ways of life, and they all call it something slightly different. An address, a sermon, a homily. In Littleport, most people call it the bit where you go to sleep until Nick shuts up. That's what most of the people call it. But I think it's, in particular. But I think it's most important in this way of life that we actually say what it is that we're about, rather than just, here's mediumship, get on with it. Why is mediumship so important? Why do we gather together to do it? All of these things make up our philosophy. And yes, we might be a Christian spiritualist church, but everyone knows that I don't like reading out of a book either, so I won't be doing any quotes of that variety either tonight. But it is Easter, so I do have to mention my mate Joshua Carpenter. Joshua Carpenter is the name that he would have more likely gone by than Jesus Christ, because let's face it, his dad on the earth plane was a carpenter, and Yeshua translate directly into English as Joshua rather than Jesus. That was transliteration and all manner of different interferences. And I think names are important. Isn't that right, Steve? That's it. So, my mate Andy over there knows exactly what I'm talking about. Names are important. We should always get names right. So the first thing there is Joshua. The second thing is that today is Maundy Thursday. And people often ask, what does Maundy mean? Well, Maundy comes from the Latin word that describes a commandment. Because that's what today, it's about Commandment Thursday. But there was only one. There was only one commandment that came out of today that mattered. Be nice to each other. Be good, be kind, look after each other. Now, admittedly, my mate Joshua, he also washed all of his congregation's feet. I'm not going to do that tonight because health and safety would not allow it. That's my rule, and I'm sticking to it. But today was about kindness, about compassion, in the face of great difficulty. And of course, it was the Last Supper, which meant it was a Passover meal that they were sharing. So they came together, they ate, they drank, they spoke. And at least one of them knew what was going to be happening in the next 48 hours. What's this got to do with spiritualism? The stories told of 2,000 years ago is a bloke wandering around the desert teaching normal, everyday people how to connect with the world of spirit. And at the core of that message was just be nice to each other. Everything that's been hung on it all over the last 2,000 years, like a Christmas tree, is irrelevant. Because so long as that one rule is followed, everything else is fulfilled by doing it. By being nice to each other, by coming together and looking after each other, by making each other laugh when one looks down, by making each other smile when one looks sad, by being kind to those that have had a tough time of it, by uplifting each other and bringing compassion into each other's lives. That is all that matters. The one new commandment. The Latin word was modant, mandate. We call it a commandment, and it sounds really harsh. but mandate sounds much better. The mandate from this place has always been, just be kind. As the years have passed, people have come and gone, but one thing has always continued. Compassion, kindness, a welcome at the door. And most importantly, the one thing that has always been drummed into me since the very first day I walked into a spiritualist church. There's a reason Spirit ends with tea, because so do our services. And coffee, and biscuits, and cake, and sandwiches, and chocolate. The first thing I ever learned was Spirit ends with tea. I was given a wonderful job. I was asked to make the tea. Nobody ever asked me to make it again. Something to do with, I'm sure she said something, it was along the lines of a gnat's hiss. Something like that anyway. But I wasn't very good at making the tea. So they gave me a different job. And I've been coming every week ever since. And as I've gone through my journey, I might not wash your feet, but I'll always make sure there's a nice wet tea bag on standby. Because that's what coming together in kindness is all about. So do enjoy your Easter weekend if you can. If you can't, go out and find a reason to enjoy it. And if that's a struggle, find someone else to put a smile on your face. Because laughter and kindness are like a very positive disease. They are contagious, infectious, and spread like wildfire. So let the light shine of that fire and make it a happy place to be. And be joyful that we are here together in this moment. So God bless you all and thank you for listening. And so now, of course, I have been told that there is a reading on standby. So we're now going to have a bit of a reading. A lot of spiritualist churches have the reading and then the philosophy. We do it back to front. I nearly said what my grandfather used to call it, which was something slightly different worded, to see if Spirit are in charge of what's going on. And if there's any correlations between the philosophy and the reading, it's because Spirit were in charge of it all. And it just meant that I don't get blamed for anything I said. But we're now going to have a reading/writing from our friend Eunice. Come on down. Give everyone a welcome to Eunice. Oh, good boy. Well done. I'm going to lose my job today, ain't I? Get the sack. There you go.
All the faces watching and waiting. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow will soon be here. Live for the moment. Never live in fear. Enjoy each special moment, the joy that each day brings. There is good if you just look for it. It's just the simple things. The love and kindness that you show, even when you're down, will help another person. It will help to lift that frown. In life, we all have ups and downs, but the light will always shine. Because there's always someone here, there's always that little sign to help us on our journey, to aid us on our way. Just ask and you'll be given the strength to grow each day. So please just remember, when you're feeling blue, each one of us has been there. We have felt it too. So a cuddle is waiting with a nice cup of tea. We are here for each other. Please give it a try.
Well done, Al. That really blooming. Wow, thank you, Eunice. And I better tell everybody, because Eunice doesn't just find these on the internet, she writes them herself. with, of course, guidance from Spirit. So really well done and thank you. And I loved how that tied together. That was awesome. Thank you. God bless you, Dale. And so now, friends, is the time where we send out our healing thoughts to all those who are sick and suffering in need of comfort. But we don't just sit right there. We also send our healing thoughts in place. We provide hands-on healing. For those that have never been before since we've started doing this, Tony is our healing leader and he'll go through it in more detail with you because I'll hand over to him in a moment. But with healing, one of our healers who will be observed by Tony or myself, depending on whether I need to go and do some work, we provide hands-on healing for the upliftment of the mind, the body, and the spirit. It's not a cure. We can't guarantee a cure, but by Lord, it certainly can help. And you never know what Spirit have got in store for you. And comfort is absolutely the most important thing. So if you want some healing, don't be shy. You can just stick your hand up, but he'll tell you more about how to do that in a moment. So please welcome our healing leader, Tony. I'll remember to plug you in this time.
Thank you.
I won't get in trouble.
Very kind. As Nick said, this is the time of the evening when some of us will get some work done. So, quite simply, if you would like some healing, be prepared to put your hand up. But before that, as has now become traditional, that I read out 150 names from Beck Row. 151.
And Tony Swindle's meeting.
152. Okay, if you would please send out your healing thoughts to the following: Roger and Sheila, Alan and Pauline, Teresa, April, Jeffrey, Bex, Phoebe, Abby, Chloe, Arthur, Albert, Sarah, Rusty, Nell, Wendy, Linda, Pat, Philip and Paul, Kathy and David, Danielle, and of course our good friend Tony Swindles, and anybody else who you know, might know, and anybody else who can't ask for themselves. I'm sure they'd appreciate some healing thoughts to be sent. For those of you in the hall, if you'd like some healing now, please just raise a hand. Oh, blimey. And if there are enough healers here, yeah, 1, 2, yeah. If you can find a recipient, I would appreciate it. No. Yeah, okay. Good. All right, we've all got somebody. Great stuff. If you would please just bear with me one more second. Great Spirit, we would ask you now to send your healing powers through our healers to those recipients. And if you'd like to get on with it and do it now, healers, please do your work. Thank you, healers. If you can just bring yourselves back. Do whatever you need to do. And thank you to those of you who asked. I know it's not an easy thing to do, but every week I say the same thing. We're just pleased you did.
Thank you to Tony and to all of those that volunteered to heal. It is very much greatly appreciated. And as Tony said, absolutely, those that ask for yourself, be it hands-on or just by sending out a please help, it's the first step. So thank you for doing that too. You know, I always find it rather strange how the atmosphere changes after the healing. And no matter what has gone before, the healing just changes the feeling to one of peace and rest and joy. And I think that's so vital. Especially as in a moment, I'm going to invite Nicola and Gina to take the platform and give us their demonstration of mediumship. Should they come to you, please answer in a clear voice, yes, no, or don't know. Remember rule number 1, don't feed the medium. They'll bite your hand off. They're the ones supposed to be telling you something, not you them. Now, word of caution, because I do know there's some unfamiliar faces tonight. Should the curtains start twitching and the chairs start sliding around the hall, just follow me. I'll be the first one out the door, because that doesn't happen here. But what does happen is upliftment. Well, yes, I know it does happen, but only through it only happens when somebody attaches fishing wire to the curtains and puts strobe lights on the stage and scares me half witless, but not at the behest of spirit. But please do have a wonderful, uplifting demonstration of mediumship. On a serious note, if we do have to evacuate the building for any other genuine reason, our exits are out there. You can also go out those 2 side wings there, and there's also an entrance through that door there, which is why I say there and through there, because there really are exits that way. But for now, I'm going to make a swift exit and hand you over to 2 wonderful, wonderful exponents of this way of life. Please give a huge Littleport welcome to Gina and Nicola.
Have fun. Thank you, Nick. Loving the hairstyle.
Thanks.
Or lack of. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Oh. Hello. That's better, thank you. It is nice to have that healing, isn't it? But having the healing, it does change the atmosphere and everything does become peaceful. But for us to do the mediumship, we need energy. So, yeah? Yes. So that's brilliant. Thank you, everybody. Just so we're on the same page. And the way I generally work is I say who I have with me, I give a description, then I normally go to where I'm guided. I may have my spiritual sat-nav off a bit, so that's where you all have to listen, okay? So if you do recognise any of what I'm saying and I'm with someone else, please put your hand up, say, Gina, I can take that, or some of that, all right? Doesn't always happen, but just in case, do feel free to put your hand up and speak. Does that sound okay? Yes, all right. And I love to see the smiles. That's for me. That's wonderful. And to send out your love and invite your loved ones here this evening. So, friends, with that, I shall begin. The first thing that I am aware of, the most beautiful garden. And I know this lady would have really enjoyed her garden. And she shows me these big-headed flowers. I know that she particularly enjoyed attending her garden, but I know that towards the end of her life, she was unable to get down and to attend her garden. So I know that basically she enjoyed looking at it in the end, but she couldn't do anything about it. So I know she needed some help. She needed a great deal of care. I do feel mum here. I do feel mum's energy. And I am aware of being over this side of the room. I want to bring who I'm going to flowers and to say thank you. And also there's been, I feel a recent birthday too. Okay, would that make sense with somebody over here, please? I either want a mother, but I feel she's with her mum as well. So they come together because they're very close. Would that make sense for you? Would you understand the birthday, please? Or a passing? I think there's a birthday and a passing close together, she's telling me, which left the birthday a bit tainted. However, I know that mum here is dressed absolutely beautifully and she's very, very proud of you. She makes me aware that you've had some difficulties this, recently, but not opening it up, but I feel on all levels, if I can say that holistically, on all levels, but with yourself, because I know this is where you've needed a mother's love, you understand, okay? And mum's just saying, where would you think I'd be? I'd be right there with you, but you know that of your lovely mum, but I also feel your nan as well, because where there's one, there's the other. They're never far apart as they were here on the earth plane. And I do feel that I know you're holding a necklace there, but I feel that I've given you a necklace. Does that make sense for you, please? Because I feel that's how close I am, you see. I'm close to your body there. I do feel that I'm trying to get rid of a skin condition. Does that make sense for you? I find irritation, and I've tried different things, and it's really frustrating and getting me down. Would that be with yourself, please? Because then mum knows this frustration that comes with you. All right, my lovely. It's as if she wants to calm your mind, calm you down, please, and the worrying and the whittling. And your mum, bless her heart, she's like, when she was here, she makes me aware that she was a worrier and whittler, but she didn't always open it up to everybody. Does that make sense? And you're very much the same. You're very much like your lovely mum. Okay. Would you understand the P name? I don't know if it's Penelope or there's a P name as well, please, that she talks about. And I do feel now that she's showing me a picture of the Eiffel Tower. I'm going to France, to Paris. All right. Would that make sense for you, please? The tower. Would you understand then where there was this joke about Blackpool Tower and being the Eiffel Tower? Would that make sense for you? Because your mum seems quite well to do, bless her. And I think she's quite romantic and she seems very eloquent, And I think she prefers Paris and the Eiffel Tower rather than Blackpool Tower, if that makes sense. Oh dear, she does chuckle here as well, love her heart. But I feel there's Dad as well, and there was such a sadness with Dad, you see. And I'm aware of not being able to swallow here, as I feel your dad coming closer. You understand that? But I feel also, my lovely, that you did your best. And that's what he wants to say to you. You did your best. And for that, I'm so grateful. Thank you, my darling. But you afterwards felt that you could have done more, or you should have done more. No, not at all. So please take that out of your mind. All right. And he says that you saw things with regards to him that you shouldn't have seen, but thank you for the dignity that you gave him, and thank you for the love and the care. Can I give that to you from your lovely dad as well? All right. But also your mom is not wanting to talk about stuff like that. She's wanting you to get away. get away. So I feel it's this country. I don't feel abroad. I feel in this country, because she keeps showing, dare I say, Blackpool again, but she's, you know, she's saying, well, beggars can't be choosers, but get away, my dear, get away. All right. And I do feel that things are quite bumpy for you, but do know Mum and Dad especially are there supporting you, giving you that energy that you need, and importantly, the healing. And I know that you're a healer. I know that you're a healer, but it's okay to accept help as well. You understand? All right. And with that, I'll pass their love on to you as well. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you very much. I feel I have a gentleman here who's called David. He draws me to this side of the room. And I do feel, actually, he didn't meet old bones. So he was quite young when he passed. I feel middle-aged or just under, as he draws me there. I'm not very tall with him either. I just feel very casually dressed. But I do feel that my demise was more of an accident rather than anything else. Would anybody understand that, please? Over here. I'll open it out. But I do feel friendship. I don't feel family. So I feel like a connection to a friend. If his name's not David, then he's mentioning David. That's as simple as that. But I do know it's this side of the water. It's in this country. And I do also feel he didn't really know anything about it. It was very quick, very quick. So my sat-nav's out. Would you understand some of what I've said or all of it? Okay. Do you understand David, please? All right. And it's the gentleman in the spirit world? Yes? Okay. Because I got that friendship link, so you were very close, like a friend. Yes? All right. That's why he gives me that feeling of friendship, because that meant so much to him. All right. And you would understand his passing being quick as well, please. Okay. I'd say he's probably about the same height as you. Okay. Quite similar, actually. So, you know, I do feel very close. You were very close here on the earth. Would that be right for you? He comes up with that friendship link. I do feel that he was quite, as I'm aware of him, it's like I can't quite get his personality. He's a bit standoffish, he's a bit difficult. That actually comes across to me. Does that make sense? So I feel that other people just wouldn't get him, simply, really. And I do feel like I'm stubborn, I'm my own person. You know, no one's going to tell me what to do, no one's going to shove me around, and that's it. And also, I feel with him that maybe you wouldn't hear from him. Like this, here, and then I appreciate him. You know, what you see is what you get. That's it. Yes. I do know that he wants to do this. Cheers with a pint. Okay. All right. So definitely there with you. Okay. All right. So I feel here, my lovely, that he wants to rekindle the friendship. Yes. Because I feel that things before he passed, things were said. There was heated moments, shall we say. Things weren't left too good before he passed. Do you understand that? No? Do you understand where there were, if it wasn't with you, it's somebody else then, where there were heated, not real arguments, but it was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do my own thing, you know? Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's probably just the energy with him I'm trying to get then. Because I just feel like, oh, I've changed now. You know, I'm not bad now. Because I feel he was very frustrating. You know, very frustrated with him. He doesn't want to come across like that anymore, if that makes sense. Okay. Is there football down here with yourself, please? The football. Where's the football that I'm interested in? And I feel there's this connection. There's the games. Would that make sense for you? Can you look to somebody with that, please? Because I feel a supporter, maybe Everton, and we're going to London connections as well. I'm going all the way to London. Does anybody else understand that little bit? Just in case I've moved. I do feel it's there, but you may find, oh, okay. Is it behind? Just jump on behind. Do you understand the little bit connection with Everton and London? I may be. Okay. If I'm still with you, would you understand the holiday or looking for a holiday home? Okay, you've got a holiday coming up. All right. But I just feel conversation, you know, going. Yeah, hasn't grown up, as it were. Yes, and I feel almost like my way of life is what he came. Do you know what I mean? So we've got both brothers then together. Please know that. All right. But I do feel I'm sorry. I know you put your hand up with. Do like that. All right. Do you understand that? Okay. So please know, both brothers are together. It's almost like family just like disconnected, you know, just finding their own lives, just getting on with it, you know. But I can feel from your brothers here that they've come together. They've come together. You understand that? Yeah. So that's really nice, isn't it? And I know that they're bringing you in the mix here. So that love, which it is, continues. All right? You're part of it. So know they're not far away from you. Yeah? And they want to bring that upliftment to you at this time. You're a very sensitive man, they're telling me. You're a very sensitive man, and you take things on board and you beat yourself up a lot. And they're talking about them as well. You're beating yourself up over them. Is there anything you could have done? Is there anything you could have said? And they want to take that away from you. Because no, you've done anything different. Okay. Yeah? They love you for being you. Please know. All right. Their love with you. I don't know who this is, but they must be very impatient, an impatient person. Okay, would that make sense for you? Because they're interrupting and keep. So I feel this person would do that as well. They would interrupt when you're having a conversation. I'm doing this, and I'm shouting, and I'm really having a great time with football. You know, it's everything to me. I don't know if this lad has something like ADHD or whatever. I just feel like my energy is all over the place. I can't concentrate very long periods of time. I want to be everywhere, into everything, with everybody. Okay, but I feel a very loving, sensitive boy as well. You know? And I just feel in there, within his heart, it's almost like being misunderstood. You understand that? Yes? And I feel like it was only a handful of people that understood me. Other people, and some people that didn't give him the time of day. You understand? Yeah. But people that didn't like him, bullied him. But he tried to fight back. Oh. He makes me aware. You can understand how you carry some blame. Okay? He talks about blame and shame. And he wants to take that away. That shouldn't be there with you. No pain, no shame. And this little son, he feels very much like that. He feels very much like that. Do you know what I mean? Like you took care of everything. Like you must be like the bestest mum, you know what I mean? Because that's what he makes me feel. That they can do everything so right. You like things perfect. You are keeping this well. It's difficult. It's difficult to get things perfect. Very hard. Very hard. He's showing me some writing up on the wall. It's not a photo, it's writing. It's like, I don't know what it is. Look at the bird thing. It's showing it on the side of the wall. And I feel it's something to do with sentiment, to do with the loss of him. Okay. If that makes sense. It makes me feel very proud. I feel it's something that may have been put up on his honour. You know? Like a memorial or something like that. Does that make sense? I don't feel it can be very good at saying the right things. It's making me feel quite confused and I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense?
I feel that's how he would be. He knows what he wants to say, but it's not quite getting it out right. Not quite understanding. You do understand that. Again, that's just his way of showing me what a character is. I do feel like I've left you a mess. I have left you a mess. Yeah? Just personally, I've left you a mess. He's taking responsibility for that. Please know he's around you. He's doing what he can from Spirit's side. And the energy I feel with him is quite erratic. You understand that. But I feel that it's something in his Spirit side he's working on. Even though he's Spirit now, he's okay. It's just when he comes close, he becomes erratic again. That's the only way I can get across. But he must be shutting down in different ways because of this energy. You understand? That's the type of person he is. So he'll always be around. Things will improve, they will improve with time. And I need to extend that love to you. So thank you for everything you do, because for the years you put up with it. Basically, because you put up with a lot. That is business. Okay, so thank you very much. I will leave this on. Sometimes I forget Nicholas with me.
Oh, he's hot.
He's not intentional.
Oh, it's that one extendable.
Right, knowing Gina for as long as I've known, it's fun. And you just get used.
You will. I've got to be nice. That's my ride home. So. Oh. It's always good, that little bit of laugh, just to pick the energy up a bit. I do a slight bit differently to how Gina more sense and feel things rather than see them. Although if I do start saying I'm talking about something that I'm seeing, it's an image that I'm being shown rather than I'm seeing. So just in case that comes up, then you'll know that's where I'm heading with something. As I was sitting there, I felt as though I had a gentleman who was waiting quite patiently. I don't feel as though he was a particularly tall gentleman. It's more a case of he was rather larger in character than he was in height. Height-wise, I would say he's probably a bit shorter than I am. So I'm probably looking between 5'7" to 5'9", and I do feel as though he is on a father or I'd say a husband vibration. Okay, where are we going? At the moment, he's just saying, I know what's going on. I do feel that there is a situation he has been watching over, and he's not particularly pleased, but he still wants to be there to give that help and to provide that upliftment and healing for the person involved in this situation. Okay, where are we going? Do feel I may be with you, Linda. I do feel that the gentleman I have here, very much not overly tall, but certainly when he was here, quite a character. Does that make sense to you? Okay. he's not pleased about what's happening, but he is there watching, giving that guidance. You know, if I was here, I'd certainly, but in the right kind of way, he wouldn't take the nonsense. I know. I also feel that he's here to bring you a lot of upliftment and healing in particular. I do feel he's been around you a lot recently because of you've had, as he's putting it, various things going on. And I do feel that you know when he is there and he is with you. But again, he's just come to give you that extra upliftment, that extra boost, just to keep you going and to give you that strength to keep going forwards. You know, but I also feel he's wanting you just to take a bit of time for yourself and just to, you know, look after you. You know, yes, it's great that you help a lot of other people, but please take that time for yourself and to have, you know, yes, it's great you can help people, but if you don't help yourself, then you can't help those other people. I just feel that he just wants to flowers. That's, you know, might either wanting to give you flowers or referring to you as my flower. You know, it's just such a, I do feel a lot of warmth and love from him. So I do feel it is your husband. I do feel that here he's just, it's now like almost I've talked about him a bit more, made that connection with you. It's almost like he's just sort of relaxed a little bit. I just feel there may have been times in his life where, for whatever reason, he had to be quite sort of closed about what he did. It almost feels like a work thing. You know, it's like there was the work person, and then when he came home, he was sort of the house person, the husband, you know, all sorts of things like that. Okay. Yeah, again, he's just coming back to bringing this healing through for you. You know, so he does feel like he's been around you quite a bit recently, and he knows, you know, what you're going through, what is happening, and he just really just wants to just, you know, he's like, it's almost like he was sort of behind you, supporting you in the same way I feel he would have done when he was here. You know, he was a good support is what I would like to say. Wouldn't normally ask too many questions, but did he have quite a good sense of humour? Yeah, I did wonder, because earlier on today, I'm not sure if it's something he would have done, but it shows you how the ways in which spirit can all work together. I was sitting at home this afternoon, and I don't know if it's something that many people would here remember, but I was just doing stuff on my laptop, and I just had this song come in to my mind, and I thought, odd. But then I thought, no, I'm, you know, knowing what I was coming to do this evening, I thought, okay, I'll remember that. Now, whether it's one that you would have known or he would have known, or in that case, I'll open it up to anyone else who would remember it from years ago. And it was, I've got to remember this now. I think it was Paul McCartney that sang it, the Frog Chorus. You know, I've got to think about this now. I had it earlier. Just need to give it back to me. Win or lose, sink or swim, one thing is certain, we'll never give in. Side by side, hand in hand, we all stand together. oh, that is such a, I had that and I thought that is such an odd thing to get. But then I thought, well, no, I'm coming here. This is like the home of odd. You know, and I'm just, you know, that's, oh, I can go home now and not put it to the back of the jukebox now. Because it's just, I can almost just sort of see this, like this smile just on his face, knowing that, you know, you could sort of take that and see what's, you know, and the fact that it's almost like he wanted to bring a little bit of it to everybody else as well. And with, you know, the address this evening, the reading, it's like that's the cherry on the cake of the rest of the evening. So, glad I could put all that together. And I'm not going completely mad, not yet anyway. But no, again, he just wants to leave so much love, upliftment and healing for you. And, you know, he's just been such a pleasure to work with. And, well, thank you for working with me too. So take his love and take his healing and thank you. Okay, right, where are we going now? Okay, where are we going next? Okay. Right. I do feel I now have a grandmother type figure. It's trying to get her to stop for a minute. I do feel as though when she was here, she was quite a busy person, always on the go, very much doing things. Okay, where are we going? I do feel she's, rather than a daughter, she's come to see a granddaughter who's been going through things somewhat at the moment, as I'd like to put it. She's not being too open about it, other than she has been watching what's been going on. Okay, where are we going now? I do feel somewhere over on this side, I feel as though I may be with you. Does that make sense to you? A grandmother who was always on the go, and you'll know she'll have been around you recently because you've been through a fair few things, is how she's putting it. If, you know, I do feel there is, if she was here, she'd have, again, you know, she'd have been one of these people that she'd have done anything she could to help you out. And in a way, you know, she very much is still helping you now with what it is that you've got going on. You know, she wants to put a rainbow above your head. I do feel like there's a lot of colour coming in, and it's almost to bring a bit of brightness and upliftment into your life. Does that make sense to you? Good. It's like, again, she just keeps coming back to this thing of how, despite everything like you've been through, it's somehow you always seem to find a way through things. It's like this, you know, you're a very determined young lady, is what she would like to say. You know, it's you know, I just feel that if a lot of people around you had half of the strength that you do, then, you know, it would be such, you know, I almost want to not put you on a pedestal, but it's like I get the feeling that she very much looks up to you for the strength of character that you have. You know, it's not something that you may think of as you have yourself, but she's just very proud of the way you have dealt with things and the way you have conducted yourself through life. You know, there's just this abundance of love that is coming through. You know, she's even like, it's a bit overwhelming for me. It's like just the power that she has, she is bringing forward to keep you uplifted. It is, there's not really words for it. It's just something that is. And I do feel that you do know when she's been around you. She has her own like little way of letting you know that she's there. You know, she's never that far away from you. And I know that she will always, you know, just, she's there more often than you think. Even when you think she may not be there, it's like, I am, I know, but in a nice kind of loving way, you know. And I just get this, you know, she just wants you to keep on keeping on, is how she's putting it. You know, just keep going ahead with what you're doing. If it sits right within you and it feels right within you, go for it. You know, you might have people around you who aren't so sure. If it feels right to you, particularly within, that's what you go with. You know, things may work, they may not work. If it feels right for you, do it. You know, do what feels right for you. You know, and I just feel she's just coming with so much support for you, and just to tell you you can do it. So if there's something, excuse me. So if there's something that you've particularly been looking to do at this moment in time, know that you can do it. It's like, I almost feel like she's wanting to push you forward. So just keep doing it. Keep pushing forward. You know, she's going to be there for you no matter what. And just take her love and take that with you in all that you do. So thank you for working with me.
Thanks, Nicola, you remembered me. Okay. Thank you. Hello again. Are we still awake? Pardon? Yay! That's better. Okay, so let's see who we have coming through now who would like to communicate. Oh, all right. Oh, I'm seeing a gentleman who's putting, looks like a memory of being a soldier in my mind, being active. Straight away takes me over this side, but that means you lot listen as well. Okay. He's not very tall, bless him. He's making me laugh now. He's making me laugh because he's being a funny character. So I know that when he was here on the earth, he did enjoy having a good laugh. He did enjoy having a bit of fun. I don't want to take things seriously because I know that he did have quite a tough upbringing and a hard life. But he is showing me dressed as a soldier, but I'm running and I've even got a bayonet as well. But he's also making it comical for me. So this is a bit strange. I see him in his khaki uniform there. And I do feel that we're going quite a long way back. So I am aware of, like, Grandad. Can anybody understand this, please? Someone who would have heard the stories. some funny stories, though, because I just want to laugh with him. Would that make sense for you, my lovely? With Grandad, please, because and he is small in stature. I'm not a tall gentleman. He's quite, quite small in stature. But I know that there was a hard, serious part to his life, when he was younger, growing up. And I do feel that I did fight. I was, in the army, I want to say. But I do feel, yeah, he was. He keeps showing me with a bayonet. Do you understand that? Because normally I'd see guns, but he's showing me with a bayonet as well. And when I'm aware of that, it's almost like I'm after the Japs. I'm after the Japs. The Japs. It's almost like he's calling them Jap. You know, we fought with bayonets. Okay, so we are in foreign lands here, because he's saying, oh, I just want guns. It was a bayonet, and I'm aware of him running as well. He was fearless. He was fearless. He seemed very proud of what he did do. But again, after I leave there, I find my humour, because I have to, if that makes sense, because his life was quite troubled. He saw things not very nice, as he obviously spoke about, but that's where he went into his comical side. So, and he often used that, I feel, but he used that as a way of surviving. We would call it PTSD today, wouldn't we? He didn't have help for it then. So he had to adapt and make his own way. And it was, just being a joker, even having dark side, to his comedy as well. I just feel as though, as he connects me with you, my lovely, that I want to take seriousness away, because he's saying, have a bit more of that side of me. That's the comic. All right? Because he says at the moment, there's too much of the other side like me, which is the seriousness and the tragedy and the woe is me and the victimhood. And he's not belittling what's going on with you, my lovely. Not at all. That's not his wish at all. He's just showing you that he knows how you are. But going in that spiral isn't helping. You need to be able to try to pull yourself out of it, and he will help you. All right? Because he's very close to you. And I feel at times you were close, you see, because I'm aware of wanting to rekindle that with you and bring that love and trust. He makes me aware that your trust in that has been diminished. You understand? And it's like you've been trodden on from big boots, shall we say. You say, but it's all right, you'll pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and you'll carry on. He's saying, think of the family. Think what we stand for. All right? We're tough. We're tough. But he says, you're soft in the middle. That's all right. You're like one of your favourite chocolates, but that's okay. He says, you can be a chocolate caramel. That's fine. But I don't know why he's saying that. But put the chocolate in the fridge so it can harden up a little bit around the outside. Do you understand that? Does somebody like putting chocolate in the fridge? That's what he did. That's why he's saying it about you then. Not that he wants to put you in the fridge. But that's lovely, isn't it? Okay. But you are very soft inside, my lovely. He says you take everything to heart. And this is what has created this, you see. This is what has created this. But you must understand that people are people. It is what it is. You're you. You're beautiful. All right? If people don't get you, that's their problem. Does that make sense? Yes? Move on. And that's his outlook on life, isn't it? When he was here, don't hang about waiting for people to put you down, Move on. Live your life. Yeah. That's it. And that's what he's bringing you. That's what he's bringing you. He's not suggesting that you go and borrow a bayonet and you go and stab the person at all. Either. That's his sense of humour, bless him. He is funny. He is a lovely man. But he does want to make you laugh and uplift you and just try and see the funny side of life. Yeah, get a little bit more of that into you. A little bit like the life of Brian. All right? Yes? Okay, and he's bringing that in. So I know that's that sort of sense of humour that he would have liked and that we're bringing in for you. Okay? So when you get down, just think of that. All right. I will leave this love with you, and good luck with everything. Okay. God bless. Thank you. Okay. Does anybody understand Shirley, please? Over there. Oh, am I still with you? Oh, okay. I just heard Shirley. Does he like dominoes as well? He doesn't want to go. Doesn't want to go. Bless him. I've got this beautiful horse here. This old, beautiful horse. And it feels like it may even be, you know, that you see in the, I don't know whether it's a gypsy horse, something like that. It looks a little bit like that. It doesn't look like one of those sleek, you know, horses that people ride on. It looks like a bit of a workhorse, a bit of a working horse for the land. And I feel also that it's they were well loved though, and I can see it on its own. Does anybody understand this connection? Okay. Because I can see it in this field, but it's on its own. Does that make sense for you? Yeah, I'm just aware of him showing me on his own, but he looks like he was out there all the time. You know, he looks a bit weather worn. He didn't like being in, so he was happy to be out because he looks a bit weather worn because he's out. Love his heart. Bit of a free spirit as well. Yes, very much so. But I'm aware of family connecting round with him, you see. So family connecting with this horse. And I'm aware of hard-working family. Does that make sense for you? Hard-working? No, okay. Then bear with me, because if it's not your family, I'm aware of a family that worked on the land. Okay, knowing a family that worked on the land. All right? Okay. Do you understand where the family is that worked on the land? Okay. Right. Because I do want, I need a family, I feel, a little bit, you know, I'm being reminded of heartbeat, that sort of thing, you know, and I don't know if I am with you. No, I don't think I am. This horse is connected to a family working out on the land, and I do feel a connection to either Romany or Gypsy. I've got roots there. So that's what I feel. Hard-working family, again, working on the land, everything they did themselves. Okay. We're going quite a way back as well with this family link. You understand? But this horse does look weather worn and does look like it's worked. That's what I want. And I've got this feeling of, like, again, heartbeat, you know. And yeah, very much so. That was very prevalent then to what I'm being reminded of now. So I'm bringing all these memories back, but a bit more than that, actually. It is the family. It it's the roots. It's the roots of the family, and it's everybody. It's everybody, you know. So it just feels, make me go cold, because there's so many. There's so many. Oh, okay. It's a lovely feeling, because it feels like an army, an army of energy, of power, of support, of like, yes, we're here. And it's very energetic. But again, as I'm drawn to the horse, that horse, as we know, is a symbol of strength and power, isn't it? Horsepower. And I feel that the family is needing this, not just with yourself, Linda, but the family is needing. Someone just swore. Something,
the brown side of the
something horsepower. Yes. So it's affecting the family. Whatever's going on, please. I think your husband, your dad, is being the spokesperson now and making it known that, you are a strong family, aren't you? Nobody messes with the Browns and gets away with it. Does that make sense? Nobody gets away with it. Was your dad a copper?
Yes, he was. Well,
Okay, because he's suddenly put this it's a copper's lark. It's a copper's lark. He's put that uniform on, you know, and he's like, yeah, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. But I feel like he had many hats, you know. He was very clever. He was very sociable man, and he could talk to anybody, you know, and he could charm the birds out of the trees as well, you know. So I feel like you're needing all of his skills, abilities, everything about him at this moment in time. And I'm including you in this, Nick, as well, because I feel like there's a lot that you don't say. Obviously, we are like that, but there is a lot that you don't say that you're holding in, and but he knows, and he's got you in a headlock. He's put you in a headlock.
he used to do that all the time.
Yeah, well, he's got you in a headlock now with his uniform on. Okay, so he wins. He wins.
Always did. He always did.
Yeah. And he still does. So obviously he's bringing that strength through for all of you, because why wouldn't he?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't he? He still loves you. That continuity of love and life continues. And with that, I'll say thank you very much. I'll leave that with you. Thank you, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gina Zivtins!
I'll tell you some stories later. Wow. Wow. All I can say is wow. Thank you so much, both of you, for a wonderful demonstration of mediumship. That it was a Suffolk punch, the horse. Our mum married into a family of Romanies. Where do you think I get my mediumship love from? And you've got two of their descendants sitting in the hall tonight, because you've got Dad's son and his great niece sitting right over there. So, you know, family was everything. But I've got to tell you, I don't always, there are certain things that I'm not allowed to say, but I do try and share some backup evidence when a message comes through to one of us. And I've got to say, it's amazing. And this trust me, sometimes I get gobsmacked too. Just as you were finishing the first message from Dad, a gentleman came up on Facebook and said, Mr. Nick Brown, well, this is bizarrely fitting for me, because once again, I went to message someone earlier and accidentally sent it to your dad by mistake. I was thinking earlier on about the conversations we used to have about railways and history whilst living in Littleport, and it was a continuation of a dream I had last night. And I tried to send him a message earlier on, and that came up between those two messages. So they really do know what's going on. They do watch like a hawk, and they really do try and help us out the best they can. So, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm, heartfelt thanks. Nicola and Gina, God bless you both. Well, friends, just a reminder, it is all about the family. It is all about kindness. And ironically, the reason I mentioned spirit ending with tea is because Dad used to make the tea and coffee before he passed away. However, what I will say is please do feel free to stay behind and join in the social side, because there's sandwiches, it's coconut, and there's also coffee, isn't there? There is cucumber, chicken paste, and cheese. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, don't worry, I ain't forgotten the raffle, love. But I'm just letting, because everyone likes to jump up and run away during the raffle. So there is cucumber, cheese, and chicken paste sandwiches, tea, coffee. I'm sure there's some chocolate left. There's loads of biscuits, so do join in with the social side, because it does make a difference. And if I haven't seen and spoke to you yet, it will be my opportunity to say hello. But for now, we are going to close this evening in prayer, and then we'll have the raffle. So let's join together one last time as we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to unite under a banner of fellowship, to come together with compassion, love, and upliftment, and to be reminded that we are never alone, and that although we have loved and thought we have lost, we still love and have not lost. Because although the physical does not remain, that which matters, the personality, the soul, the best part of those that we love, continues on eternally. And for that, we are grateful. And so, until we meet again, in your name, amen. And one last big thank you to our mediums, Gina and Nicola. We are going to say goodbye to everyone online watching, because you don't buy your raffle tickets, so there's no need for you to watch it. But thank you, everyone watching, for your support. And from all of us here, you know the drill. And if you don't, follow the lead of everyone else. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Good night. And God bless you all. We'll see you next week.